Hello there. It's Mike.
Oh, and it's Katie.
And it's episode 124. What are we talking about this week, Katie?
Oh, today it's all about the thunder.
On this week of Cup of Wrath.
Well, that was sassy. What's going on there?
It's all about the thunder, baby. All about the thunder.
No lightning, just thunder.
That's right, because lightning doesn't strike twice. But thunder
You know what, when we started talking
rolls
about
through
that,
those hills.
I can't help but try to sing the Imagine Dragons song. Just happens.
Lightning and the thunder and the thunder.
Yeah. You know what? Regardless of what you think of Imagine Dragons, you can't deny that they are catchy songs. So, I remember hearing back on one of the local radio stations months ago, they were like, how were they so popular? Like, everyone loved them for so much, and they're like, I don't even remember why they were so popular. But then when you like hear their songs, you're like, they were everywhere. That's why.
Yeah, because they hit hard and fast.
Yeah, and then they're just gone.
That's what she said.
So yeah.
Yeah. So it's all about the thunder.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what that means. Oh. Guess what? It's another happy podcast. We're drinking wine again.
I think that's her new thing, apparently. Just for 2 nights in a row, it's become a habit now. See?
Katie, started working at a bank and suddenly she wants to drink wine. So I think she's being infected.
Jeez. Coworkers are rubbing off on me badly.
Right?
But it's so good. I love my mouthy wines. That's what their little hashtag is. It's awesome.
Mouthy wines?
Mouthy wines is the hashtag.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lost inhibitions from church and state.
I don't even know if I should touch that one.
Yeah.
No. Hey, so we had to do errands down in the valley. We had to get on our caravan and travel forth, sally forth, into the great other realm because we needed some supplies that could not be funded within our own community.
Unfortunately.
And from that, then, we henceforth to the great traitor of toys, Yeth.
Yeah.
That I found with my amazing bucket of plentiful bounty that I had
Tradeth dollars?
tradeth, yes. And from that I have forth, as you may have seen on the instirth of Grameth, scoredeth the mightieth of McFarlaneth spawneth.
He's added more THs to everything as he continued on that.
Of the foundeths.
That was awesome.
Yes.
Yes. We
Well, as I did my little video today, which was in a couple days now.
Yeah.
I said that I ended up finally wanting to get the Mortal Kombat spawn. And that became two because I'm sad that I didn't do the Kickstarter, but the reason why I didn't do the Kickstarter spawn that came out was because I wanted all of them. I didn't have the monies at the time. So
Can I ask a question?
yes.
Spawn is its own thing. Mortal Kombat
It's
is
its own thing. Yes.
Own thing. Why is it Mortal Kombat Spawn?
Why is it Mortal Kombat Spawn? Because they added Spawn to Mortal Kombat 11 as a downloadable character.
So he was part of.
Yeah, you know how like Injustice 2 had Hellboy and the Ninja Turtles?
Uh-huh.
Same deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they put Spawn in Mortal Kombat 11 so you could get bloody.
Okay.
Fight!
Okay. So that was his design from the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, and he looks more like he does in the movie.
Oh, okay.
He's all veiny and like textured, right?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
And then because McFarlane Toys was making McFarlane, that's right. I went there. He was making Mortal Kombat toys for Mortal Kombat 11. Then they were like, I get to make my Spawn as well. And that's why they've made like 4 of them. I think it was also a way to test to see if people really wanted to see Spawn figures again because they'd made a whole bunch. There was like a sword version and a mace version. I have the mace version. And then they got the weird, like, fleshy looking one that I don't like at all.
Why is there a fleshy looking
I don't know. I don't know why there's one that's all fleshy and bloody.
That's creepy.
It's kind of like a wiener. You know, it's strange looking and it's kind of cool but weird, and you don't want to touch it, but you might want to touch it because it's posable. And it comes with a battle axe, so at the same time, you want it. But yeah, it's
I'm very conflicted whether I want the fleshy spawn or not.
That's a good dick.
Yeah, see, look at that. I mean, we're like 5 minutes in. We already had a penis joke.
Well, that's better than some. But yeah, no, like for reals. Yo.
You know what's so funny is I was just about to say that.
Yo? Or for reals?
It was the yo.
For
reals.
Yo. All right, so like, no, I'm really happy with it. It looks really cool. I posted on Sunday night. I had posted my He-Man pose spawn picture I did, which I was really happy with on my Extreme Sets Deranged Alley. I'm really liking the Extreme Sets, actually.
Yeah.
I would like to get some more of those because those really are helping my creativity for my photos because it gives me a better backdrop to what I want to shoot.
Well, because it allows you then to really pose the character in a different way, not worrying so much about the backdrop. And then it's just a matter of figuring out the pose and the lighting versus like, well, I have to do it this angle only, and then how do I make it work? And so this allows for more dynamic.
Yeah. Right? And then, the weather's getting better, so hopefully I'll be able to get outside and get some more
beach poses. I'm very excited for the beach pictures to show up.
Yeah, I almost bought
the river ones need to be
I almost bought the Shore Trooper. They had at Toy Traders there because like that would have been kind of cool. But I was like, you know what? No, I'm going in my spawn balls deep on this baby.
Well, you know what? He hasn't had a new thing for a while, so it's fun now. I couldn't even say anything because they were all his Toy Trader dollars. So I was like, yeah, sure. You
all
can go
those
shopping.
Toy Trader bucks are mine. I bought you stuff too. So
you
don't
did buy me things.
That's
like,
right.
I wasn't going to buy anything. He's like, no, pick something.
Yeah, because I'm nice like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Mouthy wines it is.
Got a mouth and a half. But we agreed on a Spawn figure together.
Yeah, I was totally like, yeah, you should get this because it's really awesome. I don't know anything about it, but it's really cool.
So the Mandarin Spawn.
The Mandarin Spawn. Because I keep looking at it, I'm like, this is just so awesome. He's pointy and dragony and really cool looking.
He's pointy. Oh,
and he looks so different than the Spawn like that you got, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if I looked at it, I would never like. I don't know anything about Spawn, but I know what the character looks like.
Yeah.
Looking at the Mandarin one, it's like I don't know that it would be Spawn.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool because it's so different.
Yeah.
I cannot believe the intricacy of the design. Like, you look at this and the sculpt of it is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the thing that's most impressive.
Blown away.
Well, it's like they took, because like that was always the thing that McFarlane did good in the 90s and all that, was always to have that fantastic detail and paint apps.
Yeah.
Like their articulation was not there, right? And it still is that to be desired. Like there's still stuff in it.
Compared to what you know now, right? Yeah.
There's definitely some improvements to be made on their articulation by all means. But their paint apps and their sculpting and their texturing is what makes it.
And you know what? Quite honestly, you could have a great articulation for a character, but if the sculpting and the paint looks like shit, then it doesn't matter.
Point, right?
Who cares if I can sculpt it really, if I can pose it really well, but if, the eyes are painted on its cheeks, why do I want that? Right?
Yeah, right. So that's one thing that I think is really good. And I'm glad that McFarlane's making toys again, because they hadn't been for quite a few years.
I was going to say, what happened to them?
In all my research, they pulled out. It was really they had a couple figures that really kind of tanked them. And it wasn't for that people didn't want them. It was because, and like the package of the Mortal Kombat Spawn and even the Mandarin Spar, it says 14 plus, not a toy.
Oh, okay.
Right. Well, back when Sin City came out, they did Electrocution Chair Marv, right? And it had a talking chip in it because they started getting into like talking toys more, like they did in the whole like that kind of thing. And yeah, so they had like an electrocution, like a guy getting electrocuted.
Oh, that's kind of dark.
And then they also had the Austin Powers license, and they had him in his like underpants.
Oh, okay.
And everyone lost their mind.
Right. So they got a little, kind of
So they pulled back because they lost a lot of money and they had some lawsuits and stuff like that, and kind of feel like, so it was like they pulled back quite a bit, and then Spawn wasn't really hitting its stride as much, right?
So it's kind of hit the market again.
Yeah, and by changing what they were doing, because also a lot of companies started doing more articulation, right?
Yeah.
So then people weren't as much of wanting the cheaper statue style toy.
Yeah.
They wanted more of the articulator and all that. Like I traded all my Spawn stuff when Kiddo was born, right?
Yeah.
I'd had.
Oh, that explains then. Yeah, he's finding another thing that he needs to replace.
Yeah. I didn't have many back then, but I had a few.
You did have some.
I had the animated style ones.
Yeah.
And but it was always those ones where I always wanted, like, he always would have, like, the arm would move at the shoulder joint, but you never have elbow or wrist so now we're starting to get, like,
even just a little bit more articulation. Right?
The one thing that I wish that they had was thigh cuts. Cuts, I think.
That makes a huge difference for a character.
Especially with the style of the figures that they're having. Right, because they don't have great rotation at the hips, right? So if they put the thigh cut in, then you could really get the rotation that you need for some of the posing.
Yeah. Right.
So, and like some of them, like the heavy metal Batman has a thigh cut. So I'm hoping in new incarnations we'll start seeing.
They have adapted things.
As like the DC stuff, as the lines have gone on, they have changed. Like they shrunk scale. They grew scale.
So hashtag bring on the thigh cut.
Yeah. Ooh. That sounds meaty. But like that kind of thing, like they're willing to listen. And even he did a video recently about saying, like, there's supposedly, like, through their website, there's like a poll thing saying what characters you want to see. What do you want to see improve? So they're willing to listen. So I think they're kind of in that boat of...
well, you know what? If they're trying to dig themselves out of a hole they were in for a while, they probably want to prevent something like that from happening against their learning. And there's so many different mediums now to be able to get real-time feedback from people. Opposed to way back when you didn't get to hear about things until after the fact, or you couldn't make live changes because you didn't have the information quick enough, right? So take advantage of all the live stat feedback, right?
So, and as I said before multiple times, I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring forward. Like, I'm waiting to hear more news about what's happening in the future. Yeah, especially for I know the Gunslinger Spawn's coming out, and it's like Cowboy Spawn. I mean, like, how wrong can you go with Cowboy Spawn? That's like a dream. Like, when we were at Toy Traders too, because like you saw that there was like the Batman Joker, not Batman Joker, the Joker Pirate Joker, and the Pirate Batman, like the old Legends of the Dark Knight. Yeah,
these ones were hilarious because I keep seeing this Joker, and it's these old figures, right? And
they're from the early 90s, like
he's this giant.
I remember buying them from the Zellers.
Oh, Zellers. And so you look on the back, and they have like a knight set. They had the pirate set. They had a Viking Batman, which I really wanted. They have all these like themed things like that, and it's like you don't see stuff like that anymore, like at all.
But you're gonna with this whole Spawn thing because they've got
But I mean, for kids' toys, right? You think about that. Like there is nothing like that anymore. Then think about it now, though. In boys, let's say, Kiddo doesn't have a chance to buy action figures, really. But, like, the Turtles, even when they did bring them out, they never brought any weird ones out. They don't ever take the characters.
They got a few in the 2012. They did, like, the LARPing Turtles.
Yeah, but that was still based on the show. Yeah. Right? Oh, yeah. When did Viking Batman ever show up in an animated?
Never.
Or Pirate Joker. No. So that's the thing that's interesting, that change where that was so much more common back then. But just random, like, we took this character, you like this character, you're also going to like him as a Viking.
Right? And I did. I remember being like, I want that figure as a kid, right? So then that's why when I see, like, companies starting to pull stuff like that, like, that's why the multiverse DC stuff from McFarlane has my attention, because even though most of them are based off comics, they're doing other versions to get my attention, right?
On a deep philosophical level, I wonder if there is any sort of problem with the fact that, we tend to just pull up stuff from the past, then we want to find there is legitimate concerns for the way, like, old civilizations treated other civilizations. But at the same time, like the Vikings were a whole group of people and the Cowboys was a whole real thing and like all this sort of stuff and the pirates and everything. There's problems that happen within those cultures, but are we trying to hide from some of that type of stuff? So we aren't trying to make our toys like that, or there's just like limits on their creativity. Like what would be the reason?
Honestly, I just don't think kids are into toys.
But like they don't even have the option anymore. Like, because they
don't really play with them. Like what I see is kids don't play with toys.
I know. They just play video games and try to murder each other.
Yeah. Right. Like Among Us is huge, and like I'm literally watching grade 2s run around stabbing each other, trying and saying,
real judgment on the world, the way the world's going right
now. Like or like Pennywise and things like that. Like kids are actually not even talking about Fortnite anymore, and like I'm starting to look at like the Fortnite toys coming out. I'm like, these look cool. The Fortnite toys. I don't even know what I was just trying to say there. When I used to see stuff for Halloween, because that was the only time I ever really saw Fortnite stuff, I was like, wow, it's all bright and colorful. Yeah, that looks kind of fun. I had no idea what it was, but yeah, it's better than the Among Us stuff. Like, well, literally, like since I started working in schools versus now, Fortnite was huge in October. No one talks about it now.
It's lost it's
already it's already had its time.
So the new thing is Among Us?
Yeah. Yeah. And
it's like Kiddo has tried it before it's like, I don't know how this grabs your attention so well.
He doesn't really play it. He stopped when his friend asked him to play it, and he played it for like 2 weeks and then stopped. Yeah. Right.
He hasn't continued. It was mainly there for a social connection, and then that was it, right? And there's still, I know Minecraft still seems pretty big. Yeah. And that has stuck around for a while.
Because they use it in schools now, as like projects and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. So it's strange. Anyways.
But Hasbro got the Fortnite license, and I don't play Fortnite, but there's this one, it's called Meowscles, and Meowscles Shadow. Mm-hmm. And it's like this cat's all like black and has like a scar across his eye.
So it's a character, okay.
Yeah. He's all jacked with his little tiny cat head. Nice. But like there's this deluxe pack that comes with like dumbbells and a bench press with like a barbell with weights, like plates on it. Yeah. I'm like tempted to get that just so I could get that bench press. Right? Like
I want a figure size workout outfit.
Right? Like hey, that'd be able to put Goku there doing, you know? Like that'd be pretty cool. Right? But that's what I'm also looking at that kind of stuff too, because I'm like trying to figure out how I can like, add to what I have. Yeah. And those kind of things. I want to see more companies making accessories, like the 112 accessories, right?
Oh yeah, because then you're dependent on like the craft store dollhouses type thing.
Yeah, and they're making your own. I don't have a 3D printer or anything like that. Right? Exactly. I don't even know how to use one, right?
Yeah. So you said you bought something for me at Troy's. They had a whole new line of is it Q Posket? Is that how you would say it?
Yeah, it's from Band Presto.
Yeah, Band Presto. So I have a Princess Serenity from Sailor Moon.
They got like big eyes.
Yeah, they have big glassy looking eyes, which is really cool. And they have big, huge heads and these very slender looking bodies. Like they're very kind of Bratz-esque looking, honestly.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Weird. Yeah, I'm surprised now. Interesting.
That I like them? Or? Yeah. Well, because they're characters that I like still. Huh. Yeah. But it's the first time I've said it. So now I have to get rid of them. I'm just joking. So they had a new character showed up. They had a Cinderella, they had a Snow White, and they had a Rapunzel. And it's really cool because it is her with her short brown hair. And
it's from Tangled Ever After.
Exactly. And so she's in a wedding dress with a crown and a veil. And so it's a completely different style of character that I have. And so I got that, and it's adorable.
Right. No, it's super cool. Because I'd done that one photo of like the Vogue with Princess Serenity, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I can do the same kind of thing with
So it's kind of funny now that I have two of them, and they both have white dresses on.
Yeah. Like it's you being all girly.
I know, right? So cute.
Actually, is that's not all girly. How about what would that actually be?
I don't know. I'm not offended by the term girly.
But if those that are girly, I'm sorry if I offended you, but what could I say? Look at you being all romantic?
I guess it could be romantic.
That would be, yeah.
I mean, Princess Serenity just wears that. That's just her princess outfit. But I guess, yeah, it's adorable and romantic aspect.
Yeah, okay.
So one thing I really am impressed with this character is, okay, so it comes in this one box and it comes in pieces. So you have the stand, you have the body and the head, and you kind of pop it together, right? Because then it saves on this boxing for it, right? And the body itself, like it pops onto the base and there's no clearance. Like you can't see up underneath the base of it at all, right? And yet there is all the different lines to represent the layers of the dress. The ruffles. And she has fully sculpted and painted feet on the bottom. And yet they just clap. And she has pegs on the feet. So there's no way you can not use the base.
Yeah. And
it's fully done underneath too. And I was just like, it's an extra detail that
the band prestos in general have fantastic
like the detail,
quality,
right? Yeah. So I'm like thoroughly impressed, and like the paint is awesome and the eyes are just so pristine looking, and like it's I love it so much.
On our next trade, if they still have it, I kind of want to get the that All Might that they have, the powered down with the big fist.
Because
I've got the other My Hero, the band prestos, right, and that's where the Q Poskets.
Yes.
I always wanted to get the Demon Slayer Nezuko one where she's sitting down.
Well, you found a whole bunch of ones they're doing for My Hero, right?
Yeah, well, they're going to start doing.
They're going to have a whole bunch of new ones coming out.
They got the dudes, which is weird.
Like I view it as a rock candy feel, right?
Yeah. I think that's what it's feeling.
Just because the style of it is, it comes across so much more feminine,
the Deku, right? And the Todoroki and Bakugo, they got those. But Ultra Gravity, she's coming out. Ochako. So that's like the first female they're doing. And so I'd be curious to see who else to do. But it's like, it's weird. My Hero, that's one of those licenses that actually, their licensing really bothers me. I love it, but it's like every company goes through the same order of characters every time.
Yeah.
It's always Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki, Ochako. Right? That everyone's done those though in that order.
Yeah.
Right? And then All Might, right?
Yeah.
Is sprinkled in there. And it's like, why can't they just why is it every license? Like Figma does it.
Yeah.
McFarlane
and there's
did it.
So many characters. At what point will they ever be able to do anyone else?
Right. Like when they like, especially like say the Poskets, right? Like I'm surprised that they haven't gone just like to
just try more of the female ones.
Yeah, because it fits with the style, right?
Yeah, there's so many of the females.
Yeah, well,
that that's one with the evil one with the pigtails and the everything. From My Hero. She would look pretty cool, like one of those.
Yeah.
Right?
That's when I still need a pop-up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out that, because I mainly have ladies as my
Mike teased me with the concept of trying to do a different cosplay, My Hero based.
All right. So the other day, because I took a book with me, because when I go to some schools, my lunch breaks are longer. So then I got to read, and I was reading My Hero Vigilantes Volume 8. And it starts having a story from the past that deals with the Eraserhead. And Midnight shows up, and it shows Midnight's first costume. And
if you want to call it a costume,
it is literally
it's like a strip of material and a utility belt.
It's a utility belt and like pockets on the
what are we gonna call them?
What are we gonna call them? Titties?
No, it was titties. It was tatas.
We're gonna tatas. We're going for tatas. Okay. They're covering the nipples.
Sweater kittens.
There you go, Bunchy. And then she wore like a trench coat. That was it.
Yeah.
And
he sends me this picture. He's like, "So is this your next costume?" I'll get right on that.
Right? Like,
I mean, geez,
I am yet to see anything on my Explore feed
where's
of
the
that.
cosplays on that?
On Midnight's costume. I mean, come on.
Go big or go home, people. I mean, you can actually, this is one of those ones that's a problem, is there's so many cosplayers then that want to make all these scantily clad things that shouldn't be scantily clad. Find the ones that are barely wearing. If you want to barely wear anything, fine. There are costumes out there like that.
Midnight's first costume.
Right?
It showed a year later, though, that the Superhero Registration Act changed the limited
skin exposure
Act was put in place.
You had to wear more clothing.
Had to put more clothing, yeah.
that's just a safety measure. I mean, you don't want your boobs flopping around when you're fighting.
I know, it was just hilarious.
But you know what? That's a tool for herself to be able to distract people while she fights. I mean...
Well, yeah, and then she doesn't have any limitations on the pheromone she puts out there.
Yeah.
So that really
was the
helps.
reason why. They were just like, yeah.
Yeah, right? Because she was just getting everyone all hot and bothered all the time because her pheromones were out there.
Right.
Just.
So, yeah, so that's what we got that fun stuff at Toy Traders. And,
but yeah.
Kiddo got some Pokemon cards.
Yeah, Easter hit. Cool. Now he's like back into Pokemon.
Yeah. He's never yet really, not at all, learned how to play the game, and he seems interested in wanting to do and learn some of that. So
yeah.
We'll be interested to see how that goes.
He's always been more of like a Pokemon zoologist, cryptozoologist feel, but he had broken out his little mat and he was like trying to ask me how to play. And he
finally got an Oshawott card, which he's very excited about. It's his favorite Pokemon. So that was very exciting for him.
I think if he gets a Chespin, then we're done. He's done collecting.
No, I still want mine.
Well, yeah, yours are going to be hard to find, though. You like legendary.
I like all the legendary sparkly ones.
Yeah. You want all the hard-ass cards to find. Like,
you know what? Yeah. Totally.
I just want a Chespin. I just want a friggin' Chespin, yo.
Whoa. Does he have a Pancham?
Yeah, he's got multiple Panchams.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. The Chespin, yeah, I know.
That's why he didn't get that one that we saw at Toy Traders, because he was like, well, I've already got like 2 of them, I think. Two different ones. But yeah.
Oh, when he got a Mew Pop?
Yes.
Added
well, he wanted to get we offered to get either a My Hero figure or the Mew Pop, and he went for that, but he still wanted those. He wants the My Hero action figures from McFarlane.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to see him actually ask for those.
Yeah.
Because he's not a big toy
you know what?
kid.
That would be something, because I know we have a trade that is coming up for him that he can maybe do something like that. You know? So.
Yeah. As he gets older, the things need to go.
Yeah.
And
the more toddler toys. It's been hard for me to let go of things.
Mama's the one that's saying, no.
I have a very hard time letting go of some of this stuff, but most of his stuff. But I think it's, then it comes to a point where you realize it's causing more strife than joy in the life. And there's no point in holding on to it, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I say if you don't want to trade it, then we box it up and put it in the garage.
But even with that, then it's just going to turn into, why is there so much damn stuff in the garage?
Yeah, but I got space to go up. So I can go up, right?
So we'll work on that.
It's his Imagine X Power Ranger stuff, right?
Yeah, I think it's because there's so much variety with those characters, and there's just so much completion aspect to them. When are you ever going to get all those different characters, and that's where that lies. The
Zords,
and I really doubt that he's ever gonna feel that same way that you feel of wanting to because it's not like they're Imagine X, they're not like amazing figures, but
you can beat the crap out of those things. Like they're like rocks,
right? So,
but all he cares about is video games. Like he's already said, what if I trade this, and this? Can you buy me a video game?
Yeah, be like, no.
That's where he's at. He's like more video games,
right?
So. Speaking of which, he does work on a video game actually at school, and he did get a compliment from his teacher saying that he was
like programming a video game.
Yeah, like doing this RGP maker thing, and teacher had told me that he has probably one of the best games that he's seen out of all his years teaching. Yeah,
so that's a really cool compliment because his teacher, I think, is actually one of the ones that's created it and designed it. So, I think. As much as it's frustrating sometimes that he likes playing video games, he does have a knack for that building aspect for things. So it's something to keep in mind because the world's not going to move away from things like that anytime soon. So, finding a positive landing on that one.
Yeah. He's
very excited in band. He's starting to play. He's got Star Wars theme music. Mm-hmm. So he's very excited to have something that is something he knows for a song, right?
Yeah.
And I was excited because during his practice today, then I was able to play it. I still
think you guys need to find Thundercats to travel that Thundercats theme.
I tried finding the Sailor Moon theme, but I couldn't find it in a big enough print to be able to play. So I got to try it though. But it's hard to find, clarinet that is in itself and not like part of the symphony, right? So But yeah, that was pretty fun. I mean, I played Star Wars music when I was younger as well, and he was having like some of it you could hear, and then some of it was a little bit harder for him to hear the actual melody. So I played it for him, and he's like, "Oh, that's what it is." So then I'm hoping it'll help him.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, it's a good thing he has that, right?
Yeah.
So
anyway, back to the.
What are we back to? This is like you're sitting with two friends having some drinks, and the two friends are talking, and you're just sitting there watching. Just like,
I'm just gonna soak it all in.
Yeah, you're gonna get soak all
the radness.
You're gonna get soaked in whatever we're talking about.
Something exciting. TV, more TV. We watched on Friday. It was another Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode.
Mm-hmm.
That one was
intense.
It was a lot of action.
You know, that
there was a lot going on.
That episode was the hook episode, and you know, I know he'd said that it had been kind of dry these last little while, but this was the hook. This is where we're going to, and there's not many episodes left. Mm-hmm. You know, this episode had them, you know, trying to find things out, and you really got to see Sam's character expand and really see what he's about and why he is Steve Rogers, right?
Totally.
Like that he's a good man.
Yeah. Well,
right?
And I think I love, you were telling Kiddo about it. He's like, you know what, with John Walker, like he's obviously not a replacement for Steve. You know, he's wearing the colors and the mantle and everything like that. But, you know, they always told Steve the concept of, you know, you can't be a good soldier. You have to maintain being a good man. And that's such a big difference.
Well, yeah, that's Steve what the scientists had told him in The First Soldier.
Yeah.
Promise me you'll stay a good man and not be a good soldier,
yeah.
Right?
And like, that's a huge thing for him, because the so many of those choices that Steve did was based on, you know, not following orders, but thinking for yourself, being critical of choices that people make and what is the best for everyone involved in the situation, not best for the government or best for whoever's giving you that order. And right now, you know, they're showing more and more that John Walker wants to be a good soldier. That's all he knows.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's not necessarily evil by any means.
No.
But that's what his program is, right?
Yeah.
So
then, you know, it's interesting to see, like, he just constantly wants to be the best. And we find out that he ends up taking that new super soldier serum. Mm-hmm. And, you know, allows him to then go up against the Flag Smashers toe to toe, because they get, ambushed by them, basically. Mm-hmm. And his partner ends up dying. Yeah. And what he does, you know, in that whole moment, and takes the shield, and
it's so much revenge.
Yeah.
Right? It's not justice anymore.
No,
it's the revenge.
It's anger. It's rage. It's, you know, he brings that shield down upon one of the Flag Smashers. And then you get that image.
That was, oh goodness, right?
You know, you have that image of the shield coated in blood, and you've never seen that in the MCU.
Exactly.
The shield has never had blood on it.
Yeah. And that was definitely shocking.
And that low angle, right?
It was so artistic.
Helps show off how different John Walker is. And this is going to be his descent away from Captain America into his U.S. agent persona. Yeah. Right? Where it's just, I'm doing whatever
what's ever good for what they
the
want
cause in the moment, not necessarily the long term. Yes. Right? He's the Band-Aid solution. Yeah. Right? Until, you all know Sam's going to get that shield.
At some point. That has to be where it's going.
Right? So, because, Captain America needs retribution. The mantle needs to have.
It needs to be rebuilt again. It needs to have a good man behind it again.
Because that idea of, Walker is filmed killing a man.
I was so disappointed. Sam's in there trying to talk to, I can't remember her name now, Carly. And he's doing such a good job of being calm and understanding, but also very clear that he is not okay with what she's doing. Yeah. He's never like, well, I get that,
his whole counseling background came out. Yeah. Right? It showed.
And he's so smart and level-headed and caring about people. And you can tell he's not lying, that he legitimately is concerned and understands where she's coming from. Mm. And he sees that there is a real issue there that needs to be dealt with. but he's also very clear that it is not okay how you're dealing with it.
Yeah.
And it just, with the way, I'm not even going to call him Cap, John Walker is, it's just like, oh, you're going to do something stupid.
Oh, yeah, he was like a feral animal in a cage.
Yeah, he was just like waiting to go in, right? And you knew he was going to go in, and he just screwed everything up just like you knew was going to happen, right? And it was just so heartbreaking.
The cause then too for his partner's demise.
Exactly.
If he hadn't done that, charged in, then...
And his partner knew that it was a good idea to go in and talk about things too, right? And so yeah, that was definitely a lot more going on for that one.
Yeah, so that was the hook that really has me excited to see where it's going to go, because now, you know, you have more or less that clear villain now, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's not it's very, very black and white with that.
You know, it's not necessarily the Flag Smashers or Zemo. It's the idea of the mantle. It's the battle for the shield, right?
Yeah.
Like, and of course we know that Zemo is still double crossing, and you know, like there's gonna be something else there. You know, we're all falling in love with his dance moves, but
I just like his big fluffy coat. You know what? You can't help but love his confidence, though. He's so smart, and he's just like, I rule the world.
But it's amazing to see how different he is from, say, Civil War.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, he was so quiet and meek in that. And now he's just like, he's had a few years in prison. He's like, bitch, I'm out. Right?
Amazing.
Like,
yeah.
You know.
Can we also take a moment to reflect on how freaking badass the Wakandan soldier group there was? That was amazing with how much they were trying to tell John Walker, like, you better not don't underestimate them, and the way he was acting towards them. Oh, I'm so glad they whipped the living hell out of him.
Oh, yeah.
That was so amazing.
Well, just after he gets his ass handed to him, he's like, they weren't even super soldiers, right?
Yeah.
Like, he almost was like crying. Like,
he looked so disappointed. I was like, that was amazing.
But see, that also then was also that tipping point. Them reacting with violence also then pushed him the moment he saw that there was superheroes, whatever that crap is that he put in his body. That serum. He threw that in there and was like, you know, he saw that and was like, nope, I gotta get stronger. I gotta be better.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what it takes.
Yeah.
Right. But the fact that they can actually like even like disarm literally Bucky.
That was pretty intense. They were just like, I love his look. Like, what the hell just happened?
Did you know they could do that? He just looked like he didn't know that was like
that was
something.
A thing. Yeah. That was pretty awesome. So, they were super badass. Oh, my goodness.
And scary.
Super scary. Like, if you were on the wrong side
kind of turned on, too.
Right? Like, whoa. I can't lie.
No, I'm not.
That was super sexy, man.
I'm not.
Like,
it was just hilarious how fast you were like, I get on that.
I didn't go that far.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just leave it there.
Yep, there we go. But yeah, no, Winter Soldier and Falcon really picked up this last week, which was really cool to see. Mm-hmm. Pretty intense. And of course, the Mighty Ducks. The Mighty Ducks was funny as always.
Yeah, I'm
loving the Mighty Duck Man himself, Emilio.
He's so amazing. Like, everything, he delivers his lines so well.
Oh yeah,
like the humor and the timing in there is great, and you just, every time he says something, you know, even if he's being a dick, it's like he's doing it out of a place of love. Yeah. At the same time, and you're like, you're funny. You don't really mean that.
He's got that part where he's just that old man where you're just like, oh,
yeah. I love that when she knocks on the door and come in. I thought you said come in. I have never once said come in 20 years. Like, I thought that was awesome. Yeah. But then you hear more of his story, and it's all heartbreaking, and you feel so bad for him.
Well, it's brutal to think that, you know, he gave kid money for hockey tape.
And you know, it's probably real life then.
Right.
Like, you can't help out for people. And
you know, like that he lost his college career of coaching
because trying to help someone.
He gave someone money. But then you think about it, you hear about those things that you're just not allowed to do. Mm-hmm. And like, I know
and they have to have a black and white, right?
And unfortunately, it's ridiculous to think of. Like, if he had been able to just give him hockey tape, it would have been fine. But because he gave him money, that's the problem. Mm-hmm. Right. And, you know.
Yep.
And, you hear his story is sad, like that,
It's super sad.
He just loves the game so much. And like every time he gets somewhere with it, something happens and it gets destroyed. Like it literally is a tragedy, right?
And I love with them trying to talk to that girl off the ducks and trying to explain to her, that's not the place for you.
Yeah.
And how then the game that they play is just shows them how apparent, how horrible they are.
Yeah.
Unsportsmanlike and just mean.
It's all about winning. There's no fun in it. No. It's not a game anymore.
And the coach, lambasting them for having allowed one score, one goal out of 17 that they had against. And as if that mattered at all. And he was still like the end of the world type thing. And like, oh my goodness, have your priorities straight.
Yeah.
And so it was interesting because now it really showed that clear cut and kind of a move towards something, a little bit less set up.
It's like, it took me back to like when Kiddo played hockey and stuff like that. And the only time like I got mad at him when he was playing hockey was when he'd lay on the ground. I'm like, I didn't, when he was in goal and like, he let in like 12 goals that time. I was like, whatever. But the biggest one was when he just like got out of net when they came and he was like, I'm out. Right. And I was like, dude, you didn't even try. Like, that's the only time that I was like, seriously.
Yep.
Right. And like, and more parents need to, I think, be like, just like, whatever. Just, unless.
The only time we got mad at him was when he just stopped trying.
Yeah. Stopped playing. Right.
Yeah.
Like would lay down or, But that was more or less because we were in Nevada and, it was street hockey.
You can play in 90-degree weather. It's
hot
okay.
and, you're playing sports and the like kid comes out and he looks like,
he just had a bath.
Yeah.
Oh, so gross. Oh, hockey nights.
The sweat and the stink.
It was so much fun though. I mean, we were freezing our asses off, but.
Yeah, but when they had their games though.
Oh,
when he was actually
it was in the spring, right?
It was in the spring. And it was during the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, even in the winter, if there is sun in Nevada, it is warm. Because then it's like 70 degrees and in the sun is warm there. And, it was not pleasant because you don't have the cooling effect of the ice.
Yeah.
So it's just warm.
The concrete,
So... but yeah.
I miss hockey.
I do too.
That's how I think I'm really enjoying the show. Because our team sucks.
Yeah, every time they play, I'm like, oh, look.
They lost.
And oh, look, they're going to lose. Because even when they are ahead, I don't trust it to stay that way. So when they win, it's like, oh, that was a pleasant surprise. But we don't even get to watch the games anymore. But I'm kind of glad that we don't pay for them because that would just be heartbreaking. And then the Canucks are currently all COVID shut down. Yeah. So we can't even watch them if we wanted to. We finally tried to watch them, and then game was postponed.
Due to COVID.
So, and as far as I know, they're all on the mend and they're doing better. But we'll see how that goes. But it's not like they're doing absolutely fantastic either.
No, they started second too. Like,
we used to go to live games and those were always super fun.
Yeah.
No matter what, but different world, man.
Totally. It's wild. Yeah. But the Mighty Ducks, the Game Changer show on Disney Plus is pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
So like our Friday nights now we like watch like Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Mighty Ducks, and then we haven't been watching a lot of movies. But it was an early night because the Mighty Ducks show was a little shorter this week.
Mm. No, it wasn't, remember?
Well, yeah, but it felt shorter.
No, we just had earlier dinner because we were starving.
Okay, well then.
And pizza wasn't, late delivered. So we watched Invincible.
No, we didn't.
We didn't? That was Saturday. We did watch Invincible.
Get your priorities.
Jeez, but you know what we did watch afterwards? We watched a movie.
Yeah.
We didn't think too much. We just went on there. We're like, this looks funny. Bam, play.
Well, and what happened was like, hey, this came out. And Katie said, I kind of want to watch that.
And Mike's like, I'm going to take it.
We have time. It was only 7:30. I hit play.
Yep. This is what happens when we need to be able to watch movies, is we just need to not overthink it. So we watched Thunder Force.
We did. And that's where the title of Thunder comes from.
Thunder Force!
So this...
Thunder Force! I gotta say it right.
You got it.
I don't even say it
deeper.
Well.
Get it.
Thunder Force.
Come on, do it again.
No.
Thunder Force.
There you go, see? Yours is so much more badass.
Right, but come on, get it.
Thunder Force?
Now, you don't put a question mark at the end of
Thunder
it.
Force.
Does Batman like, we're the Justice League?
I like it. Thunder Force. So that is.
You got like Garth face when you do that.
You know what? I don't do voices or acting or anything.
It's like, guys, it's like
it's like Thunder Force.
Thunder Force. Thunder Force. Excellent, Garth.
Excellent.
That was totally sway.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
we should totally have a Wayne's World episode.
Wayne's World party time. Excellent. Only if we have a
totally.
segment that doesn't mean anything to what's happening.
No. Anyways, we're back to Thunder Force.
That was better.
That was better. See,
Yeah.
I need to not think about it.
Yeah. Just get in the moment. Just do it.
Thunder Force.
Grab that thing and say it. Say it like you mean it.
So, Thunder Force is so in the movie back in the 80s, there was a meteor that showed up and it gave a whole bunch of people like weird radiation and turned them into like mutated things, and they somehow all became villains,
known as miscreants.
And one of the characters, her parents were unfortunately killed.
Octavia Spencer.
Spencer. Her character, when she was a child, then her parents were killed. So she, very, very smart, scientific, love science, everything like that. Her parents were geneticists.
Not a nerd. I'm just smart.
I really like that. She wanted to continue their work and they were working on trying to genetically enhance humans to basically make superheroes. And so that was her goal of trying to continue with that. And then her best friend in school, who helped her with some of the bullies that she was with, and that's how they became friends, was much more about the having fun, could care less about like schedules and schools and studying and whatnot. And so that made them drift apart. And the high school reunion comes around and they try to reach out. It's
Melissa McCarthy.
I couldn't think of her first name. And McCarthy, is it?
Yeah.
McCarthy. And so then she goes over and tries to bring her to the reunion. And so Octavia Spencer's character is super rich, super successful science company that she has.
And McCarthy's she's, moment her shifts off, she cracks a beer.
Yeah, she works she's a forklift truck driver, like a freight shipyard, that type of thing, and very much it's very juxtaposed, the blue collar trade feel versus the high inventor idea, right? And she's very much kind of stumbles upon life feel, and so she hits too many buttons and finds herself injected with the start of a series of treatments to give her superpowers.
Yeah,
on accident. So she ends up going down the trail of super strength, and then Octavia Spencer starts. The other trial was invisibility. So then between the two of them, they both develop superpowers.
Yeah, and
it's a journey of their friendship. And also trying to go up against the corruption of the king. The king. Which, you know what, if you were never questioning someone who purposely calls himself the king as a nickname, right? I don't know. It wrote all over itself. I'm like, something's wrong with him.
Bad guy alert over here.
Jason Bateman is in it as
I've decided that he's older than me, of course, but I think Jason Bateman would be a good actor to play me in a movie.
100%.
I think that would be a really good thing.
I love Jason Bateman.
Well,
I mean, it makes sense.
That's how it is.
I know, right?
What it is.
But
I think
I love that he winks. It's super sexy.
Oh,
goodness.
With the crab arms and all?
Well, I'm just ignoring the crab arms, but
yeah, right. You want to butter those babies up.
That was creepy.
Okay, so you know what? Okay, I'm going to say the movie was kind of funny.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's the rundown for it. So it's their relationship and dealing with all of this, right?
So the movie was kind of funny, but it did struggle with what rating it kind of wanted.
Yes.
Because we were watching, I'm like, we could have actually watched this with kiddo. But then there was those scenes where I was like, I don't want to have to explain this to kiddo.
Especially between, with Melissa McCarthy and Jason Bateman's characters.
Yeah.
Then we're like, it's a little racy.
It was just weird. Just enough of a weird sexual tension between the two of them.
Yeah. And it's like the uncomfortable sexual tension.
Yes, the awkward humor.
Yeah, you're not even like, wow, I'm a little turned on.
Butter those crab legs.
No, this is creepy and it's making me weirdly awkward and uncomfortable.
Yeah. But it reminded me very much of like when superhero movies were bigger in the 90s and then the comedies started coming out, and then even in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Where like it was just a ridiculous comedy. And was it fantastic? No. But did I laugh and have a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would I watch it again? Probably not.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I enjoyed the time I had with the movie.
Yeah.
And because there was some laughs.
Well, and you know what?
And like, there was some stupidity.
Sometimes in the past, she used to be a little overwhelming. And there was some weird, awkward humor, but it wasn't like gross.
Yeah.
Or like, oh my God, like this is horrible.
But like, that's what I say. Like it was almost family enough, right? Where you were just like,
yeah.
And those moments between her and Bateman, they've been in so many movies together. You can tell they've got that relationship,
like really comfortable with each other,
right? And
Bateman's hilarious. Like he's so awkward, but he's like so like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah,
I'm living
his crab arms.
He walks sideways and snaps his little claws as he moves, and it's hilarious. I love him.
But yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
It was really.
It's on Netflix. If we hadn't already mentioned that, it was a Netflix original. It was another one of those ones that was supposed to go to theaters, and then it got bought up by Netflix.
Yeah,
as far as I remember reading. But yeah, there's some funny moments in it. When they get their Lamborghini, I think is one of the high points. There's a whole training. Yeah. Actually, the getting the injections and the training and their first mission out, that was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
The rest of it was not as much.
Funky, yeah.
Right? When she first meets Bateman and they're like taking out his like goon squad.
Oh my goodness. And they have this weird like, what the hell is happening? Like trippy scene. And it was so out there. It was amazing.
Oh, the weird 80s. He's got a mullet and he's got like...
don't tell them.
Well, that should be enough to get you excited.
But, okay, you know what? She had crinkle cut, like, not cut, but like the crimped hair. Okay, if anyone would have remembered, like we used to have the wavy crimped, so it was a big panel.
Yeah.
The crimp, everything awesome. And then like glitter gauze dress pantsuit.
I kind of like forgot that this happened because it's like, it makes no sense to what happens in the movie.
But I would like to tell you that while it was on, he's like, this might be the best part of the movie.
It was. It was, because at the moment, it was like, oh my God, what is happening right now? I
looked at that and I'm like, why do we not have clothes like this still? Like... Oh my God.
Let's hit on the thrift shop.
Why is this not a thing now?
Then let's hit the thrift shop.
Oh my goodness.
Pop some tags.
Oh, it's so fabulous. Like glitter and layers, and it doesn't know if it wants to be a giant dress or a pantsuit.
Do I get to cut off some sleeves?
Super, yes.
Some jean sleeves? A tuxedo?
Oh, and you know what's funny? Because... yeah, he has full giant arms, crab arms in this too.
Yeah, all the way up to the shoulders.
Half Korean. Is he half Korean? Okay, it was a good time. I'm probably never gonna watch it again. It wasn't life changing, but it was funny and it was an amusing way. It fit the bill.
Like it was that superhero ridiculousness.
I was amused.
So like I say, my only real complaint was the fact that it didn't go full R to be like but it didn't go full family.
Yeah,
it was like in this weird middle ground.
Yeah,
where like there was still that awkward humor that I wouldn't want to have my kids see yet.
Yeah.
right? Because it was a sexual humor.
Can you imagine with that whole scene there with the 80s? He would have been like, what?
He would have loved that scene.
He would have loved it, but he would have been confused.
But it's the weird buttering.
The weird buttering of them.
The buttering of his claws and then like sprinkling the Old Bay on him and like the weird sex scene.
You know, you want to watch it just to see if you can be all weirdly sexual tension about it.
You never know. Hey, maybe there's people out there that
maybe there are other people that carry Old Bay in their bra.
And rub butter on each other.
You never know.
If you do, congratulations.
Power to you.
That's amazing. And I want to know about it.
You do you.
Right? I kind of want to know. You don't need to send me a video.
Has butter ever entered your erotic situations?
I don't need a video. I just need a thumbs up. You know?
I dare you to send him a thumbs up just to say...
I butter my bacon with Old Bay.
Anyways, that was Thunder Force.
Thunder Force.
Thunder Force.
Thunder Force. So we watched a lot of Thundercats otherwise because we didn't watch a movie the other night. What did we even do? We got late.
We got late because we went outside and we went on a walk, and then we just got all messed up with our times for things, with dinners and whatnot. I don't even know what we ended up watching the night before for dinner wise. We usually watch a movie.
On Saturday we didn't.
What did we watch, man?
We didn't.
Why do we not remember these? We watched Amphibia. The new Amphibia show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what we did. We watched some Amphibia cartoon. And then...
this weekend, like, just
went
twisty.
By. And then we watched Invincible, you and me, that night.
Yeah.
After kiddo was in bed. And watched that going on. And then we decided to watch Thundercats this morning like our usual. And then we ended up watching, because it was a 5-part mini-movie series again, that apparently looks like it's the end of the... series, but not. Who knows?
Yeah, well, it's on like the second disc. It's the first 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Of that second disc. So there's still 4, and then like what 6 or 8 episodes left.
Yeah,
like there's
we don't
like
know.
12 episodes left, I think, or 11 episodes left, or I don't know.
So stand by for next episode to find out if it really was the end, or
because remember we talked about the fact that the Thundercats. That dude had captured everyone on the train and then pieced out, right? And so
then we started this morning with the last day, and it was the evil spirits being like, Mumra, we're tired of you being such a screw up, and you have until sunset tonight to actually get rid of the Thundercats, or we're killing you, basically.
Yeah.
And it was like, whoa.
And to prove that we're serious, you see your dog? Where's he going, Kitty?
Oh, they sent him away. They sent poor Mamat. No.
But how did it look?
He was sent to the Phantom Zone.
Because that's how it looked. They zapped him and he
put him
turned
into a little square and sent him off flying off into space.
Just like the Phantom Zone.
He just got sent to the Phantom Zone. So
there's a lot more like with that there, and then the new Thundera. It reminded me a lot more of like Superman comics because like how many times have they tried to remake New Krypton?
Yeah.
Right? Like they always like every decade there's at least one storyline where it revolves around creating a new Krypton.
There you go. So
right. So, like, it is Superman. Mm-hmm. It even, like, with the Phantom Zone thing, like, where they just, like, put him in a square and he floats off into space.
You know, I don't even care if it was a different shape. It would have been less apparent to be Phantom Zone. Right? It was, like, super.
I was
stuck in the 2D world of the plate that went off into the mystic nowhereness.
Right.
And, so they supercharged him and made him taller than a mountain.
Yeah, he was massive.
And he was huge, and he nearly succeeded in killing all the Thundercats. He got all of them into limbo, except for Lionel, who he buried in this cave. And Jaga helped grab all the other Thundercats out of limbo, bring all of their spirits into the Eye of Thundera, gave him all supercharged to be able to get out of there. And then basically Snarf had gone into the Book of Omens and found out that...
I love that too, because they're like going through the moments. Well, how am I going to get out? Or how am I going to realize what's happening here?
Yeah.
And he's like, take the key of Thunder. He's like, screw that shit. I'm taking all the treasure. And he gets in there and the dragon guy's
He's all
like,
catty about it, too.
It's awesome because the dragon's like, do you have the key of Thunder? He's like, motherfucker, I got everything. You're going to come at me? I got all the treasure, bitch. All of it. Now tell me how to solve this shit.
Yep, that was basically exactly what he did. That would have been hilarious. So then he
we need to reboot Thundercats R-rated, just like that.
And you know who's going to be Panthro?
Who?
Motherfucking Samuel L. Jackson.
No, he should be Jaga. Right?
Yes.
He would be Jaga.
Okay, so people, we need your input on who should be cast as who.
Right? Because,
in the Reservoir Dog version of Thundercats.
The Pulp Fiction Thundercats.
So Snarf is able to call out to Lino and tell him, like, hey, you know what? His superpowers that he has is only going to last until sunset. So, just keep him busy a little while and then he's going to disappear. And poor Lino here, he's like, it's getting close to sunset and he has to go and remind Mumra, like, why don't you just let it happen quietly? He doesn't even realize what time it is. Like, just don't tell him.
Mumra's just like, rah! He's all Godzilla
like, are you sure you want to keep going?
Hey, guess what?
But yeah,
if you weren't motivated enough by the evil spirits,
you just gotta live.
By the way,
and so long story short, here he fails, and
he disintegrated.
Like the evil spirits blew him to bits.
Mumra, you have failed us for the last time.
That's a really good impersonation. That's exactly what they sounded like. I'm impressed.
I learned it from Roar.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
And
speaking of which, in Roar, so in Thundercats, the guy that played Panthro also plays the evil spirits. And in Roar, they do the same thing. Panthro plays the evil spirits.
I'm sure they did that on purpose.
Oh, I know, but I just think it's cool that they did that. Like, it's like a good nod to be like...
Yeah, exactly. Because it's so apparent that he plays it. He just sounds like slightly reverberated version of Panthro. So he got blown to bits and put into the Phantom Zone as well.
So, like, there's a good lesson here to be learned. Like, you can't trust evil spirits.
Your friends on the other side are not your friends.
Yeah, like, there's something like all those people that, like, raged about, like, Thundercats back in the day were, like, saying, like, oh, there's evil spirits and they're calling down the demons and the blah,
the evil spirits were dicks.
They backstabbed their own guy that called upon them, and they were just like, you're not evil enough, Mumra. You can't do this.
Like, okay, they've had him, he's supposedly the ever-living. How many thousands of millennia have they had him there? Who else are they going to get to fill this void? Like, they can't act on their own. So, I mean, I think this was awfully stupid of them.
Well, then they send him away to the Phantom Zone, and then the next episode...
And they're like, shit!
Mumra, we're giving you a second chance! Whoopsie! Come back, but if you fuck up, guess what? You dead!
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. So everything was good, and they were like, yay, the world's all, Third Earth is great, so we can leave now, peace out. We've only lived here for a number of years and helped you guys.
Which I didn't realize they'd been there years.
Yeah, and it's like everything's
because it
cool
kind of felt like it was like a matter of months.
Yeah, so everything's cool now, and we can leave. But we're also going to leave Tigra and Pumara here. We're not going to explain why they're here, but we're also telling you you're in charge of safety, but they're also going to stay here as random outposts, lookouts.
Because we've actually ended up fixing both the two towers that we got here.
Yeah.
They have two tower-like things.
Yeah.
It's like they're like The Hobbit.
Two towers.
Huh. Interesting.
Huh. So,
like, they don't even say goodbye. It's like, it was literally like...
To the Thundercats?
They don't even say, like, it's just like... It shows Tiger, he's, like, on the computer, and Pumara's on the other computer.
They're just starting to work.
And Lionel and the rest of them are like, let's just fucking go.
They won't even notice we're gone.
If we take all the technology, they can't get to New Thunder. Yeah. Like, we're just gonna,
so, like,
quietly
what happens
leave.
if something is actually wrong? Like... Pamira, I'm sorry, but Pamira's never really proven to be, like, doing anything. So, like...
Well, look how fast they can get back and forth now.
Yeah, I know, now it doesn't even matter.
It's a matter of, like, seconds.
So, okay, so then we watched the return to New Thundera, which they've decided they were going there, and I still... My head hurts understanding of how this place exists, how it is, like, a habitable...
Habitable?
What is the word? Habitable. Habitable? That's the word. Planet. Now we also learn that there's a magic gyroscope in the middle of the great beneath, run by another wizard mattress.
Jagara?
Jagara, yeah, like...
Jaga's sister?
Something like
wizard?
that. It lives in the
like, not actual sister,
planet.
but, like, wizard buddy? But I didn't realize that Jaga the Wise was a wizard?
Like, what is happening?
And, like, but she kind of looks like Rita Repulsa ripoff. Like, if Rita, like,
Super
ran
Rita.
into the wall and bent her little head doing, and it was just like, hey, guys, I'm okay.
So they're going there. I don't understand why they had to build all these temples, and why did they not just bring
No,
the
because you know what?
up?
I just found out how horrible the Thundercats are, because they literally, like, the only thing that was, like, live on this new Thundera was the Snarfs all came back. Like, the Snarfs are, like, part of the essence of the world.
Yeah.
And the Thundercats get there, like, you know what? We need a temple. Snarfs,
You better work.
build this motherfucking temple.
And they're like, oh my god, I don't want to work anymore. Just get them back to work. Get them on task.
Yeah. They force the Snarfs to build a temple. Like, they're so mean.
They are super... You look at that and you're like, wow, they are just, like, ruling over the Snarfs. Like, they are just slave labor to them.
Yeah.
And if they had just brought the Burbles love building.
Yeah.
And the thing would have been done already.
In a day. Right?
And then all their Thundera quakes wouldn't have mattered.
No, it was...
Oh, no, we're ignoring the earth tremors.
Earth tremors.
Because they're not earth tremors when you're not on Earth. Like, I'm seriously upset about this. Every single time they said it, I'm like, fuck, it's not earth tremors.
But I love, though, because I'd be like, hey, we are watching a science fiction show. She's like, you can't throw all logic out just because it's science fiction.
There's a level of it, man. But yeah, they should have just brought the Burbles, and the poor Snarfs had to, like, break their backs.
Yeah, they look like they look like it was like Egyptian slaves, like,
yes,
like
from on high. They're like just nicely telling them to get back to work. Like,
it's okay, Snarfs.
Why aren't you using your fucking magic sword to build these temples? Like, what the hell?
But yeah, it was really, really disappointing to see how much they treated them so poorly.
Yeah.
And
totally.
like, we're like, and even like the one was like, Osbert, Snarf, what's going on? Why are we doing this? And Snarf's all like there going, build a temple! Build a temple! And it was sad. It was depressing. Yeah.
We were a little jaded with that one. The spirits brought Mumra back. They were like, oops, our bad. So actually we're going to be another chance to destroy them here. So Mumra decides he's going to go try to take out the little gyroscopic gravity thing that's holding the planet and the gravity together. So he puts a spell on
Jagara.
There we go.
Because he disguises himself yet again
as
Jaga the Wise. And speaking of which, I really cannot wait for when Super 7 decides to announce their glow-in-the-dark, translucent Jaga figure.
Yes, it cannot come soon enough.
Like, I don't want the colored one because he's in the show colored, like, for 2 minutes. He's always a ghost spirit. So please, Super 7, bring out Ghost Jaga. Ghost Jaga! Then I will buy it.
So he brings Groon back. He brings him from Third Earth.
Yeah.
To fight them. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but he's still like a spirit almost more.
Yeah, well then Groon broke the Sword of Omens, and then the mystical blacksmith guy showed up.
Where was he?
Where was he?
He was just in the middle, because Snarf falls with the sword, and he finds him in the mystical ether that's between where the gyrosphere and the ship was.
Yep.
This four-armed blacksmith from outer space that was like, I keep sword. And Snarf's like, no, you can't keep that sword. That's Snarfing swords for Lion-O up there. And the four-armed guy's like, he's like, I keep this sword. He's like, you make that sword, you crazy bastard. Snarf this. And so then the guy's all like, okay, I do it. And he builds it for him. And Snarf's like, that's right. we're going to snarf and do this correct.
Can we just, instead of swearing on the podcast, can we just use snarf all the time?
If we can remember.
God, that would be hard.
That'd be snarfing hard.
Snarf, yeah.
Snarf this. I'm snarfing out of here, you snarfing retrobate.
Anyway, so
we could keep a PG rating then.
We could.
It'd be like Turtles when they'd always say, "Shell yeah." Right? Shell you later, shredhead.
So it continues on here then with Mummer trying all these different things to keep this gyroscope from being fixed. He steals the magic like joystick control, and as if I don't know why
that looked like a wonder wand.
I did. I don't know why
Hitachi, whatever it was.
Why is it so important? Like Kiddo made a good point. Like, why can't anything else be used as a joystick? Like, what is magic about that?
It's what fit.
I know.
It's what fit, baby.
Whoa.
It's what snarfing fit in the hole.
Trying to continue. You're being like so inappropriate. Oh, my goodness. I'm trying to be proper here. What the snarf?
Yeah, right? Shell, all right, dude.
And then in the meantime, we also have mystical refugee Thundercats, Thunderans, sorry.
Yeah.
That are showing up.
Yeah, they're not Thundercats.
No, they're not Thundercats.
They're Thunderans.
We also have the
this dude was weird.
Two-headed robot.
Where his head's on his...
So we have a head, and then we have the second head that like, also talks.
Butt or balls is.
We got balls and head. And
head. Ooh.
Head. So, I mean, there's the epitome man of the two-headed monster they're talking. Can't control both of them at the same time.
What the snarf are you talking about?
He looks actually offended, which is awesome.
It was just weird because, like, it didn't make a whole lick of sense.
He was super weird. And he turned everyone on their heads and hung them upside down in some, like, weird anti-gravity bubble. So
that they could talk to the lower head, not the upper head?
I don't know. It was weird,
because you couldn't be upright talking to that head?
Weird 69 world. I don't know.
Like, what? What's a snarf?
See, sometimes I just need to see a reaction.
We need to see my snarfing reaction. I'll show you my snarfing reaction. This is snarfing unbelievable.
Oh.
No, but yeah, it was weird. Like, it was this weird robot thing.
Okay, so
here I am. You know what's going to happen is I'm all excited for like these other things that like I want to see made as figures from Superstar, like
and they're going to make the two-headed robot.
And they're going to make the two-headed robot guy. Yeah, they're going to be like, guess what? Wave 5.
Oh no,
two-headed robot.
Chikara or whatever. You know,
you're like, what?
The mystical reader.
They're sitting there like hinting, like, guess what? The next wave's going to have someone that's going to come with something that's bigger or you're going to cost more. Everyone's like, oh, Mandora. No, it's going to be the gyrosphere.
So like, you too can pretend that you're building a new Thundera.
Right.
And, okay, so what else happened? We had...
I don't even remember how it ended, honestly. All I remember is like the longest time Lionel had his sword out down and just started screaming ho a lot. There was a lot of ho, 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 okay. Right? Over and over again.
So at one point, what I really liked was he shot out, because I mean, the little like light from his sword decides randomly when it's going to like punch actual holes through things. So he punched a hole through like this like force field thing, and the other Thundercats were able to then jump out of their ship through the tunnel of light down to where he was.
Like a slide.
It was like a little
rainbow slide. Yeah.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were able to then, because the gyroscope was then completely destroyed, and then they were falling through some weird ass vortex into the planet.
Oh yeah, right? Yeah.
And he just kept going. Well, then he was able to shoot his grappling claw thing out, and it was like
grappling hook,
ridiculous like rope thing that it like built on. Pulled him out of there, and then at some point then he used the sword to create a temporary gyroscope to stop the explosion, foil Mumra's plan. Mumra thought he had won. He went back to his temple and he was like, that was hard, but I got this. And then Mama was like, dude, look at the water, your little magic pool of light, everyone's fine. And the evil spirits were like, dude, you fucked up again. And he's gone now.
Or so we think.
And
but honestly, if that's how the show ended, I would have been really disappointed.
Yeah.
Because it was also we're now safe. We foiled Mumra's plan for the last time.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it showed them actually rebuilding the gyroscope, but for a temporary moment. So for the longest time, okay, this thing was off, it was all unstable. Fine. There was the shifts in gravity and things were being thrown around. Okay, so if that was the thing that was creating the gravity on the planet, holding everything together, when they had to actually take the sword away and create the gyroscope, there was literally nothing spinning there. There was no gravity there. And yet everything was fine until they kick-started it up.
Yeah.
Why was there never a break in gravity? And stand by, we're having some maintenance for a moment. We're going to have a moment of no gravity, but everything's going to be fine.
Science fiction.
I don't care.
Science.
And then, everything's happy. You know what we forgot?
What?
Mumra broke out the mutants. That's what we forgot.
Oh yeah,
that was the episode.
They attacked.
So he broke out. He was like, well, wait a second, I need to take them out. So he goes and breaks down the mutants, and then they're all free falling. They all fell to Third Earth.
Yeah,
and that was Tigra and Primaro was fighting them, and they all had to go. And they turned into this giant snowball, and they brought them back to the train. Yeah. And then in the meantime, Captain Bragg was free falling through space somehow. Another science fiction problem that me and Kiddo were like, you don't fall through space.
Well, you could fall.
Not through space. Then he was falling through the atmosphere, also while not burning up.
But you still can,
you can
fall.
Float through space. You're not falling through space unless you're actually falling into an atmosphere. But he was literally just free falling.
Free falling, yeah, he was. Free falling.
I know. But then, so we never cared about the Lunatics, but the mutants then got back into the train and everything. And Mandora got hit on by Bragg and was given a free ticket to the circus, but she's never off duty, so she's never gonna
I'm never off duty.
And I express my extreme hatred towards her voice.
By the way, I am totally buying that figure when that comes out.
No.
That is happening.
I hate her so much.
And every time.
I hate the character. Not even just her voice. I dislike her so much. She's my least favorite thing about the show.
And it's going to go up against Captain Marvel and be like, you see, I am Space Cop 2.
She's so horrible. Oh, God. I hate it so much.
I don't see why you hate it so much. She's a strong, confident woman that gets shit done.
She doesn't get shit done. She's horrible at her job.
She does. She gets stuff done.
Uh-huh.
At the end of every episode that she's in, she still takes people to jail. Has anyone gotten away?
She's a little too scary.
If she's very unorthodox in her methods, because she allows the oafs to do everything for her.
Ah, yes, nice. You know what's funny? We were reading our novel. Me and Kiddo reading Magnus Chase right now, and they're referring to oaf a lot right now, and they're insulting people for it. He laughs and he's like, "I know what oaf means now." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "From Thundercats." And I was, oh, okay. It was quite funny. So, okay, fine. Mandora's awesome. Jeez. She's still got a horrible voice. So horrible.
Well, it's because they only had 3 voice actors on the show.
What did Mumra call Chitara? Wretched she-beast.
Yes.
That was hilarious.
Wretched she-beast.
So, he's so mean to Mamat. He loves him so much, but at the same time...
Well, what I love was we were talking about that, and Kid was like, well, maybe this is what mummies do. Maybe mummies are like, you're horrible, I hate you. But it secretly means I love you. Right? That is
so we watched,
passive harassment there.
We watched Thundercats Roar, which had Mamat in it.
Yes.
And so they were at this intergalactic pound, and all these animals that were trying to find homes, and they were shelter for these animals.
Ghost Jaga was there.
No
one will ever take him because he's a demon dog.
And Lion-O decides that he can't be left there all alone. He's going to bring him back to Third Earth and find the perfect owner for him. And he's just an absolute terror to absolutely everyone. But then when Mumra shows up as a disguise to try to get in and, he's going to try to take advantage and get into Cat's lair as a disguise of some human-looking thing.
Yeah, it looked like Freddie Mercury.
And Mamat is just super calm and relaxed and happy with him. And so it's he's the only one that he's okay with. And then they find out that it finally is Momra. And it's like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll take your dog.
Yeah. You stupid dog.
Stupid dog, but I love him. Yeah. He's... And Lionel's just so happy. And what is it, Tigra? That is like, what the hell's wrong with you, Lionel? You gave a demon dog to our worst enemy? Yeah. He's like, yeah, I did.
Yep.
And it's awesome. Ding.
Well, because it's one of those too, where it's like in Thundercats, the actual cartoon, there's never a moment where you find out where Momot comes from.
No, he's just a dog shows up.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then, I loved it too, was in Thundercats Roar, Lionel was like, yeah, you call him Mutra. Mm-hmm. And Mama's like, no, I'll call him Mamat. It's like, but you just, what? Like, you just changed? You just flipped it. No, I didn't. It's all original name. I love, the more we watch Thundercats and then with still watching Roar, it's hilarious to see how it's actually like spoofing.
It loves it and spoofs it.
Yeah. It's like showing how much love it had for the source material, but at the same time, it's like this was actually quite ridiculous. Like to think that this was okay,
right? Because I mean, that was always a question for us. Like, where the heck did the dog come from? And this episode was just so perfect. Like, where the heck did the dog come from? This made more sense than the original episode. And one thing that was the other thing. Because I love watching, the more we watch Thundercats, then you see some of those nods that are in Roar. Then you're like, whoa, that was there. Well, one of the animals that is in the Intergalactic Pound or whatever is a two-headed dragon thing. And I was like, oh, it's the Jade Dragon. It's the two-headed dragon of Doom, which was super awesome. And
no, it's like they really did love the show. And I think it was the idea of like pulling off the rose-colored glasses, because I still love watching the Thundercats cartoon. Oh, yeah. Even though like we rag on it,
I still really enjoy it.
It's still really fun, but it's like pulling off those glasses and realizing that like it was great for the time, but it maybe hasn't aged well.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that was the other thing that showed up. Like, there's always been some like really kind of funky music with some of like the Panthro scenes. But this one had like a new disco-y type jazz flute for something that Panthro was doing. And it was like,
no, it was just everyone happening this time though.
But it was like specifically with Panthro, and then it just continued on.
Yeah, it was like really sexy time music.
Yeah, it was. It was like apparently
like Ron Burgundy style. Like,
yes, it was Ron Burgundy music right there. And it was just like, whoa,
sexy town with this.
This is some fancy stuff.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah.
But yeah, that was our Thundercats Thunder excitement.
Thunder. Yeah. That's where we went this week.
Yay. Who knows what'll happen next weekend?
Okay, so Disney Plus has gotten the Ewok stuff. I've been thinking about doing that.
Oh, okay.
Because we watched one of the episodes of the cartoon, because I was like, could it be? Actually, is it real?
I'm not going to lie. I actually really enjoyed the cartoon, though.
It's so bad, though.
It was so bad, but it was really funny at the same time.
Like dark.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's why I liked it. I was like, okay, I can forgive this. And there was like...
It was like really, really bad to start, and then the forest started burning, and the Ewoks started like having to like put out this giant fire, and then I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so...
This is harsh. But the old Ewok movies are on Disney Plus.
So we'll be drinking another bottle of wine next time and reporting on the Ewoks.
I'm kind of tempted to go down that path.
Maybe we'll get some grass instead. Kind of hippie to Okay.
But yeah, so who knows what's going to come next week?
We'll see.
We're going
to have some nice weather this week.
So hopefully we do an episode.
So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to lie. It could throw a wrench in things.
We haven't done a Radnesia in a long time.
We haven't. So Ewok
Radnesia.
That might be interesting.
Radnesia.
We haven't.
Oh, hey, so I had a lot of people asking. There's actually a lot of people asking about merchandise for Cup of Rad, which is super cool. I really appreciate it. Really dope. So we had one friend, he suggested use T Public.
Yes.
So I'm going to start looking at that just because, you know, I don't want to have stock sitting around. So T Public would then allow us to open up a store, and then you guys could all go on there and pick whatever design.
We would just upload designs, and then you guys can just choose
what you like. And we got like a lot of response actually from like logo to hello there. To we're coming to you in your ear holes, and nature were some of the top things that people were saying that they'd love to have on items.
Yeah.
Which is super cool. So I'm gonna look at having to figure out how to design those so that we can get that on there for you, so that you can then choose your favorite Cup of Rad moment and put it on a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a sticker, a travel mug. Your own Cup of Rad. So the moment that happens, we will let you know on all the socials, and I'd love to be able to see if you guys do buy stuff like that, to be able to sport it out in the wild. Because that would be pretty dope, or rad even.
You might even say it would be rad.
It would be rad, right? So once I figure out the sizing and all that, and come up with some designs, we'll get that going, and we'll let you know. But I really appreciate the response that we got from people saying that they wanted merch, because that's really cool. I really appreciate that.
This would be the place where you should try to find how to do, toy size things. Cup of Rad stuff for figures. That would be
actually there was someone that actually,
I know someone had said that.
Someone that said that they wanted 112 sized Cup of Rad cups for the figures or t-shirts. So that would be something I have to find, either someone that can 3D print or something that can create a mold for me that I can make these happen.
Super cool.
But yeah, so thank you so much. We appreciate everyone that listens and enjoys us each week. With however you go. This week we didn't sing for you, but you know what we did see at Toy Traders that I almost bought? The gummy bears, because they were bouncing here
and there
and everywhere. High adventure that is beyond compare. They are the gummy bears. And with that, stay rad, dudes.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Want more rad content? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review.
And remember, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes!